Hello to whoever stumbled across this video. If you are new here, welcome to my channel. If you're returning, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I will be talking about Skeleta, which is Ghost's newest release, which came out nearly a week ago now. I would know I was up until midnight just to listen to it in full. I'm not going to be necessarily critiquing these songs based off technique. I'm not a musician, nor am I a music critic. I'm not bald. So this is simply just my little thoughts and opinions. Tobias is a great musician, and the way that these songs sound are the way that they were intended to sound. So like I said, I'm not a music critic, I'm not a musician, but with that being said, my partner is a musician and I'm a very passionate music lover. So yeah, I won't be really sharing criticism, I'll just be giving my little thoughts. I feel like a lot of these songs sound heavy but don't particularly have a very dark beat to them, but they seem to have a much more darker underlying meaning. And if you are interested in the meanings behind the songs, I do recommend going to watch Ghost Historia's breakdown on the album. It was really good. I would also just recommend that channel for any Ghost fan. They do a lot of Ghost content, so yeah, couldn't recommend them enough. Also, this album definitely feels like a big love letter to the bands that inspired Ghost, which I love that because I do love a lot of the bands that Tobias has said was a big inspiration to him. I overall really enjoyed this album, so without further ado, stick around and watch me yap about it. Your love, bright as the starlight. Very solid first track, has a very epic catchy chorus. It definitely starts the album off with a very hopeful tone. After the first two singles, this one did sound a little bit different and a bit more uplifting, so it took me a couple of listens for it to really grow on me, but I do really love it. People have been saying it sounds very similar to Separate Ways by Journey, which it absolutely does. Like, it really does, but I love that. It definitely sets the tone for the rest of the album, which is very 80s-esque, which I love. I know a lot of people aren't feeling it, but personally, adore it, love it. This one definitely sounds a little bit like Poison by Alice Cooper. I've seen comparisons on TikTok and I have to agree, but I love that song and I love Alice Cooper, so no complaints there. I think this is definitely one of my favorites. When it came out, I could not stop listening to it. I still can't. It didn't have to grow on me. It just immediately reeled me in. I love the vocal melodies in the chorus and the pre-chorus. I love the way he sings, I can never run, I cannot hide. The ending of the pre-chorus really transitions the song from that dark and heavy vibe to this really poppy and gloomy chorus that's extremely catchy. I adore this song and I really love the music video. I was so excited when it came out because it was our first real look at this new pupper, and oh my god, I've never seen so many people excited about seeing a mouth, which I can relate. I was super excited to see Tobias actually like singing. So yeah, I'm really excited to see that live. This was the first single that was released and it was a really good sneak peek into what was to come. I've seen online Tobias talking about how like the first minute of the song was recorded way back in the Impera recordings. So this was supposed to be on Impera and it definitely fucking sounds it. As we reach this song, I feel like I really need to acknowledge how good of a lyric writer Tobias is. I know we know that, but I just need to point it out. Considering this song is about love and the idea of love feeling like being possessed by a demon, the lyrics and the emotion in his vocals really convey that meaning so perfectly. And I can honestly say the same for a lot of the songs on this album and pretty much all of Ghost's past work. Well, this is Ghost's 80s ballad. If you're wondering what that was gonna sound like, that's this song. This is definitely the most 80s they have went, and I'm loving it. I really like this one and I adore the build up to this really beautiful emotional chorus. And I love when the drums kick in after the first chorus, and I just love the way the chorus gets increasingly more emotional and heavier as the song goes along. I dig it, I love it. The song has definitely given me prequel vibes with a hint of Meliora. Very poppy chorus, of course, which Ghost is very known for at this point, so no complaints there. I know they have been opening shows with Peacefield, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like this could also be a really good opener as well. Probably not as good as Peacefield, but it could definitely be a great opener. I really enjoyed the second verse, and of course his vocals are incredible throughout the whole song. I don't really have much else to say about this song, but I really like it. Most of the songs on this album, this one does have a much more hopeful, uplifting vibe to it, which during my first listen, once I got to this point, I was kind of hoping I would hear some darker stuff. In no way am I saying I don't like the vibe. I definitely went into this album thinking that I would hear some more darker songs, but I'm not disappointed. Like I said at the start, I did like this album. But something that I do like about Ghost is the way that they can go from dark to poppy, or like dark to epic, vice versa, which is a big reason why I like Impera a lot. Again, the vocals are great, and since the new Papa was released and it was revealed that Tobias would not be wearing a full mask and that we would actually be able to see his mouth move, obviously it's going to be easier for him to sing on stage, and he clearly knew that, and I can hear it in the way he sings these songs that he knows that he'll be able to belt them on stage, which I really look forward to seeing if they come back to Australia. The guitar work in this section of the outro sounds really good. And I can say the same for the guitar work on the rest of the album. This and Guiding Lights sound like 80s songs that had music videos of like the band playing live and like backstage and stuff. Now that we've reached this point, I'm guessing we all had the same realization that this is the most 80s thing that they have ever done. This song especially has a lot of the same kind of epic vibes that are in a lot of my favorite 80s rock songs. I do love the way he belts Love Rockets. When I first heard it, I literally turned to my partner and went, dude, is he saying Love Rockets? Is he talking about a naughty facial? At first those lyrics felt quite cheesy and goofy to me, but I'm a big 80s rock fan, and it gave me Def Leppard vibes, it gave me Scorpions, it gave me Kiss, more specifically Love Gun by Kiss. Such a catchy chorus, and I have a feeling this is going to become a fan favorite, and I can't wait to see it live if they play it live. I really hope they do. 80s. Welcome to the 80s. The verse is so cunty. I don't know how to describe it. The song just makes me want to dance, but with like a lot of passion. The solo is really sick and sounds kind of fun and spooky. I can definitely say that they are not beating the Scooby-Doo chase music allegations, but I really dig that. I love the way he says watch in the chorus. I do have to point out these lyrics. What? It's a bit odd, but I'm cool with that. I also really adore the way it fades out, like a classic 80s heavy rock song. This one's about fucking, I believe. I hear that cowbell, it's giving me strip anthem, it's giving me booty or hip shaking with like choir. I do enjoy Sinful Sexual Ghost. The parts where there's cowbell definitely feels like a strip song. Also, that second verse. Also, I love that guitar solo alongside that creepy, churchy piano. This definitely feels like this is this album's Life Eternal, and I really enjoy Ghost ballads and slower songs. I obviously prefer Life Eternal, but this song is really pretty. And while the lyrics can come off as quite grim, the overall tone of this song is quite uplifting, and it really touched me. I won't get too deep into it, but I have been through my fair share of shit in my life and have a lot of issues as a result of that. And a lot of the lyrics in the song made me feel quite safe and not alone, which I like that. It was very comforting. This song definitely feels a lot more personal, which I like because it feels like Tobias is speaking to me, not a character. It's a simple song with so much emotion. As we reach the end of the album, I do wonder what elements of this album do tie to the lore, if any of it does, of course. After all, it is the music that comes before the lore, and I'm sure that the writing process doesn't completely revolve around the lore, and I think that's something we need to keep in mind. This song and a lot of the other songs on this album do feel quite separated from the lore and a lot more personal, which is great because as much as I like indulging in the lore, I do like when ghosts get a bit more deep and personal and real because it makes me feel a deeper connection to the art and to them. Overall, I really do like this album, and I pretty much like anything Ghost releases. When I did go into this, I was hoping we'd get more songs that sound like Lacrima and just sound like an overall darker vibe. Like I said at the beginning, a lot of these songs do seem to have a darker underlying meaning to them, but still have that heavy, hopeful sound. With that being said, I enjoyed all the songs, and I adore how 80s rock inspired it all is. It's very arena rock, but in the best way. For me, Ghost could do no wrong musically, and I'm so happy we've received a new album album. I love Ghost very much, and I have for nearly over 8 years. So yeah, I am very pleased with this album. I do feel the need to share some thoughts I've had recently, specifically during the lead up to the album's release. And please do not sound off in the comments about how it's the young fans ruining things, because I've seen grown-ass adults contribute to the things that I think may be issues. I obviously love the lore of Ghost, and I do heavily indulge in it, and I love that it's being built on more than ever at the moment, especially with the new comics. But I do think the lore is overshadowing the music just a little bit with how people are acting at the moment. It's obviously not everyone, it's just a small portion of the fandom. All fandoms have them. It just sucks that they're very loud. Instead of being pumped for new music, all I have seen people talk about is nameless ghouls getting fired and who's gonna replace said ghoul, and what are we as a fandom gonna name that ghoul? And what if this is the last pupper and the end of Ghost? Well, if you guys keep acting that way, fucking maybe that's the end of Ghost. Like, damn. All Tobias said was that if fans need the lore to enjoy the band, then the lore is going to end quite soon. But with that being said, I don't think there is an ending in the near future. He also said there's still more places he wants to take Ghost, and I don't think the lore would just suddenly end and then Ghost continuing without it. I just think he wants people to acknowledge the art of the music a little bit more, which is completely valid. At the end of the day, the lore isn't going to last forever. Nothing does. But we have it right now, so there's literally no reason to cause this unnecessary bullshit. So basically what I'm trying to say is the lore isn't going anywhere anytime soon, but maybe just appreciate Ghost more musically. Also, trying to find the identities of the nameless ghouls is insane to me. They are supposed to be anonymous. And like, I guess it's different if the person under the mask is putting themselves out publicly as a member of Ghost, but like, doesn't that ruin the magic? Like, they're supposed to be anonymous. That's just my opinion though. Well, honestly, I think it's a pretty good opinion. Don't stalk people. So yeah, just please stop. And of course I love seeing fans indulge in the lore. I love it too, but sometimes it gets a little bit silly. Also, the tour has just started and I'm seeing people say that Tobias isn't talking much on stage or interacting as much as he used to. He's clearly still trying to work this new character out. I mean, he played Copia for such a long time. He's still working out how he wants to perform this new pupper, and he's probably trying to make him a little bit more different from Copia, and he's probably still really used to playing Copia. And after years of what I assume is him not feeling a proper connection with the crowd due to all the phone usage, especially during the Imperator, I think he's just trying to get that connection back. And I think the no phones rule is really helping him do that. It was really sick to watch the Peacefield music video and just see this crowd with no phones. So like, I completely get it. He also just seemed really tired, and I read that last year he was really burnt out, and I feel like this album is a result of him just wanting to branch out and try something new, whilst also sticking to the Ghost formula. I gotta say, with this album, I felt a much bigger connection to Tobias rather than a character. But for some of the people that have just been really critical of him lately, just get off his back. He's tired and I don't want to lose Ghost. Being critical of the album is fine, but I'm talking about, and I hate using this phrase, I'm talking about the chronically online fans. And I feel like a lot of those fans do put the lore before the music. Ghost is more than its lore and characters, and you really got to keep in mind the mindset that Tobias was probably in going into making this album. He just got off the biggest tour of his career so far, and I mean huge tour. The fandom has also changed a lot, especially with the release of Impera, and also Mary on a Cross just suddenly becoming a huge hit on TikTok. I just think with this album, he wanted to do something a bit more grounded and personal. I understand people saying that this album lacks that dark, heavy, spooky Ghost vibe, but that does not make it a bad album. Perhaps I'm biased because as well as darker sounding music, I also enjoy a lot of 80s music, as well as many other genres, which is why I love Ghost so much, is because they have so many different vibes and sounds. It's different, and I think fans are a little divided on it. I can understand why some fans, old and new, might not be into this album, but I have been seeing some people say that it's uninspired, which is bullshit. Yes, I was quite surprised when I first listened to this album, and I did have to listen to it a couple more times for it all to really grow on me. But now I just love these songs, and if you are feeling a bit conflicted still, I do recommend giving the album a few more listens. But like I said, it just seems like Tobias is trying something different, and you do not know what the future holds for future albums. They might do an album in the future that channels older sounds, they might do a heavier album, they might do a poppier album, they might do something completely different, but nothing is permanent. Ghost channels so many different sounds, and that's why all of their albums are so unique. And that's the same with this album. Not everyone's going to vibe with it, but that's okay. But in conclusion, I really like this album, and it makes me want to tease my hair, put on some leopard print, and just rock out. I think this album is fun, I think it's fresh for Ghost, and I look forward to seeing these songs live once they return to Australia. Please return to Australia, I'm begging. I was lucky enough to see them during the Impera tour in October 2023, and they rocked my world. Okay, so there is really not much else I have to say about the album, but let me know what you thought of the album. Did you vibe with it? Were you not really feeling it? But please do not argue. Everyone is entitled to their own opinions on whether they vibe with the album or not, so don't be annoying, don't be a dick, please. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this little yap fest. Here are my socials if you are interested. I definitely want to make more Ghost related content because I love Ghost, so if Ghost is your jam, I suggest you stick around. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed today's video and have a lovely, lovely day, and I hope to see you in the next one.